Briefly explain what is PowerShell. Answer. PowerShell is a cross-platform task automation solution composed of a scripting language, command line shell, and a configuration management framework. PowerShell operates on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. In 2006, when PowerShell was released, this effective tool effectively substituted command prompt as the default way to ensue automatic batch processes and develop personalized system management tools. Multiple system administrators, such as MSPs, managed services providers, depend on PowerShell's 130+ command line tools to simplify and scale tasks in remote systems. Its abilities have been integrated into several other interfaces. It has always been crucial for MSPs to comprehend how PowerShell functions, what it is employed for, and how to make management tasks automatic, which will optimize time and effort. 2. What does PowerShell do? Answer. Microsoft created PowerShell to make system tasks automatic, like batch processing, to build system management mechanisms for generally implemented processes. The PowerShell language is quite similar to Perl and delivers different ways to automate tasks. 1. One way is with cmdlets, which are miniature in nature.net classes emerge as system commands. 2. Another way is with scripts, these are an amalgamation of cmdlets and associated logic. 3. It can be done with executables, these are standalone mechanisms. 4. Also with the embodiment of standard.net classes. Admins can employ PowerShell to manage a broad range of activities, like it can pull information on operating systems, as the particular version and service pack levels. PowerShell providers are programs that enable data included in specialized data stocks available at the command line. Those data stores contain Windows file system drives. PowerShell also acts as the substitute for Microsoft's command prompt, which goes way back to DOS. For example, Microsoft turned PowerShell the default command line interface, CLI, for Windows 10 as of build 14791. PowerShell's function as a command line shell is how most consumers become familiarized with the technology. 3. Mention the two important differences between Bash and PowerShell. Answer. This question is a great opportunity to get an understanding of the candidate's knowledge of PowerShell core concepts and her favorite PowerShell features. For instance, one of the most essential distinctions between PowerShell and Bash is that PowerShell is object-oriented whereas Bash is text-oriented. PowerShell treats input and output as an object and Bash always considers input and output as a text structure. PowerShell's user interface is a graphical command line interface CLI, whereas Bash's user interface shell is a text-based command line interface. PowerShell can run on any version of Windows ranging from Windows 97 to Windows 10. Bash is specifically designed for Linux and Unix operating systems from the first day. 4. Explain how would you place a registry value with PowerShell? Answer. Registry values are properties of keys and, as such, cannot be directly browsed. This requires us to understand that there are no registry-specific cmdlets, so we have to utilize the registry provider and set item property. You can also utilize the new item property cmdlet to build the registry entry and its value and then make use of set item property to modify the value. The registry has been an essential part of Windows forever, thus this is hardly area-specific knowledge. 5. Explain briefly what are help and comments in PowerShell. Answer. PowerShell allows the accumulation of help topics for modules, scripts, and individual commands. To look at all the help topics, you can use the get help command. While importing a module into a session, PowerShell transfers the help topics for that module automatically. In case of no help topics for a module, the get help command demonstrates autogenerated help. There are three types of help content that exist in PowerShell: external help, comment-based help, and updatable help. Comment-based help indicates comments contained with a script or command for get help to read. External help allows the author to describe help content in an external XML file documented in XAML. Updatable help utilizes external help but allows users to download the new help content with the update help command. 6. Explain the importance of PowerShell brackets. Answer. Parenthesis brackets. These brackets are utilized for required arguments. 1. Square brackets. These sorts of brackets are used to specify the optional items. 2. Braces brackets. These kinds of brackets are utilized in blocked statements. 7. Why is scripting debugging important? Answer. Scripting debugging is an essential attribute to comprehend how to use PowerShell. Concentrate on how scripting debugging can enhance your workflow and the entire project. Scripting debugging is necessary as it permits IT professionals to quickly scan the scripts, functions, expressions, and commands while executing. This allows us to determine possible errors, maintain model scripts, and improve performance. 8. Do you make PowerShell scripts to deploy components in SharePoint? Answer. If you construct the web part with the help of VS 2010, then you can deploy it utilizing ctrl plus F5. To activate the web part component, you can document a PowerShell script PS1 and run it after deployment. 9. What is your take on variable interpolation? Answer. When a variable is incorporated into double-quoted strings, then PowerShell transforms the name of that variable via its value. Generally, this feature in PowerShell is emanated as variable interpolation. It provides a more readable, easier to read, and convenient syntax to create a formatted string. 10. Explain PowerShell's comparison operators. Answer. Comparison operators compares the value in PowerShell. There are 4 kinds of comparison operators that are used, namely equality, match, containment, and replace. In PowerShell, one of the essential comparison operators is EQ, that is utilized in place of equals sign for declaring variables. Similarly, there are other operators like nay for, not equal, GT, greater than, or LT, less than. 11. What PowerShell scripting is? Answer. PowerShell file contains a series of PowerShell commands with each command appearing on a separate line. To use a text file as a PowerShell script, its file name should have PS1 extension. To run a script, you need 1. Type the commands in a text editor. 2. Save the file with PS1 extension. 3. Execute the file in PowerShell. 12. How would you set a registry value with PowerShell? Answer. Yeah, we start easy, but it is not that intuitive. This requires to know that there is no registry-specific cmdlets, so we have to use the registry provider and set item property. The registry has been an integral part of Windows forever, so this is hardly area-specific knowledge. It is very likely that any PowerShell scripter has already performed this task at least once, maybe even on an almost daily basis. 13. What are 2 ways of extending PowerShell? Answer. PS Snapins. 1. Modules. 14. How will you check what commands have been added after adding the new Snapin to PowerShell? Answer. Get command PS Snapin to lists all commands that got added when the Snapin was added to the shell. 15. What is the execution policy in PowerShell? Answer. Execution policy in PowerShell is a concept which controls the conditions under which PowerShell loads the configuration files and executes scripts. Thank you.